Hi, welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. I've been out of pocket for the last week or so. It's been kind of busy getting the final editing done for the renewal, just to bring you all up to date on that. Finally got through all the pen and paper editing in here, and found all the things that I wanted to change on every page, and I think there's probably 2 or 3 things on every page that I want to change. And so I got that done, and now I'm going through there and going through the Word program and changing or making the changes to all of the manuscript. And I don't know how long that'll take, probably another week or 2, and then we'll get this thing out and get it to the printer and the publisher and get it on the market. So anyway, I wanted to take just a few minutes, and I told my director, he says, "How long is this one going to be?" And I said, "Well, have 5 minutes." And he says, "Okay, that means 20 minutes. And I said, "Yeah, no, 7 or 8 minutes. He says, "You once said that it was going to be 5 minutes, and it was 28 minutes. So anyway, I don't think I have that much to say today, so I'm going to try to keep it down, now that I've wasted a couple of minutes doing that. Si vis pacem para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. That's one of the most famous sayings in the support of building and keeping a strong military. It's a saying that's well understood by most people in the preparedness community. But usually when we talk about that, or when we say it, we're talking about the national military, or perhaps a militia group, or a local mag, or whatever. And I'm going to approach it just a little bit differently here, and talk about how we want peace in our own personal lives by preparing for war and always being prepared. And do I mean necessarily a personal war? No, I don't. Maintaining a personal peace when the world around you is in flames. I watch some other channels when I get a chance. I haven't had a chance to very much lately, but I know the favorite doomsday scenarios that different people are concerned about, and I don't say that in a way at all to put that down or to minimize it, simply to let you know that I recognize there are a number of different things about which people are concerned, and I think that all of those concerns are legitimate. If you pay attention to the news, you see things going on all around. A tanker gets torpedoed, and you'll never know who did that. I mean, you may think that you do, and you may be right, but you'll never know whether you're right or wrong. Whether the people that finally are held up to blame actually did it, or whether it's being used as an excuse for something else that comes along down the pike, you'll never know. There are floods here and there. There are eruptions of volcanoes. A team of U.S. Marshals went down to arrest somebody, I think, in Louisiana, and they had to kill the guy. And a riot ensued, and 20 cops got injured. Go to Chicago. I haven't even checked, but multiple people have been killed up there, including little kids. The world is a mess. The world has always been a mess. If you don't think that we're at war right now, well, we are. We're always at war. People have this idea. We learn our history by these big apparent broad expanses of peacetime between wars. There's never been peace. We are either, if we're not in a war, we're building up to a war, or getting out of a war. And although we haven't been in what most people would recognize as a major war, since the last one they think of is World War II, unless you throw Korea and Vietnam in there, and then the global war on terror and all this. It's only because we're involved in small wars everywhere. Okay, you can't. If you're an average person, you can't believe the number of places we got guys with guns doing really interesting things. Okay, so the world is always in turmoil. And it has been for, I was going to say 2,000 years. It's been in turmoil since the first man met the second man and saw something the second man had and picked up a rock and took it away from him, and the second man said, I'd better get a bigger rock or a longer stick. Okay, that's the way that people are. It's the way humanity is. What do you do about it? Okay, you can't control these things, and it's not going to stop. It's not one of these things to where I should, take off my glasses and pensively look off into the distance and say, I feel something coming. Yeah, I feel something coming. I always feel something coming. You know why? Because there's always something coming. Always. And if you don't see it coming yet, just wait. Next week it'll be here, and you'll see what was coming then. And then I'll tell you what, after that, something else is going to be coming. Okay. And these things tend to play people like yo-yos. They become emotional yo-yos, going up and down and worried about this and worried about that, and preparing for this and then preparing for that, and it takes away from your peace. And I just want to make a suggestion that if you realize that the world is a mess, it's always going to be a mess. Sometimes it's just going to be messier than others. And realize that your peace depends on you, just as your own defense depends on you. Feeding yourself depends on you. Cutting your grass depends on you. I'm getting my minute marks here. Oh, I've already gone over. I'm apparently at 7 minutes and what I thought was going to be a 5 minute, but he's going to be surprised because I'm not going much longer. If you realize that your life within the parameters of what you're in control of depends entirely on you, and your ability to separate yourself mentally, well, let me back at it. Maybe not mentally, because you do want to stay up on what's going on in the world, but separate yourself emotionally from this roller coaster that will keep you bouncing around. Realize that you're in charge of this, and realize that that's really why you prep. If you ask me why I prep, and if you ask somebody else why they prep, you might get a couple of different answers. And I know, like I said, out there on YouTube land, different people have different concerns. They're all valid. The thing is that any of them could happen. A couple could happen at the same time. Who knows? But we all prep for the same reason. And that reason is to be able to continue our lives, the security of our family, in a way that is not disrupted, or disrupted as little as possible by the craziness that goes around us in the world. So this is why you should never relax on your preparations. This is why you should never get to the point to where you think you have enough food, you have enough guns, you have enough ammo, you have enough medical supplies, you have enough knowledge, you have enough skills. Now, until you and your family can wake up one morning and the whole rest of the world has gone away and you have to rely on yourselves, you don't have enough. Okay. So that's just kind of my message today, is that realize and keep it close, to the front of your mind, that no matter what happens in the world, you can decide, to a great extent, how much it's going to affect you. Floods in the Midwest, food prices are going to go up. Well, if you've stocked enough food, it's not going to affect you. Okay. Tanker gets torpedoed in the Gulf of Oman, and I don't even know where exactly it happened. Okay, they're going to use that as, there's no reason for oil prices to go up for that, but if they use that as an excuse for oil prices to go up, well, if you have some fuel stored, you'll be able to weather that storm a little bit. And hey, if you've gone to one of the areas of preparedness that we don't talk about very much, and that is, if you've increased your income and the money you have coming in, it's not going to affect you nearly as much as somebody who is living on the edge of their money or their food or their whatever. So no matter what happens in the world, it'll get crazy. Don't let it make you crazy. Just keep on going, live your life, enjoy your life, provide for yourself, provide for your own, sustenance and protection, and that's really what preparedness long term is all about. So with that, I'll get back. I better get back to this thing. I think I'm up to about page 22 on getting in the changes on the manuscript. So I'm trying to get this done in the next week. And my wife is sneaking up the sidewalk here, trying not to make any noise. Hi, baby.
Hi,
how you doing?
Good.
Good. Oh, I bet your voice is on a YouTube. She's kind of, she doesn't like to be on. She's kind of, I won't say she's shy, but anyway, she's not ready for camera time. Anyway, so I'm working on this hard, and you all have a happy Father's Day. I'm gonna make a little Father's Day video and put it on the other channel, American Reversion. So any of you who go over and check that, probably tomorrow it'll be up. And you all have a good Father's Day and a wonderful weekend. And remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.